Zelda Breath of the Wild walkthrough. I may have started my narration a second late, so this might be a little bit unsynced, but I'll try to compensate for that. So anyway, we are going to be going to this memory location here to kind of kick off this quest with Impa. And as you can tell, we are here on the lake tower, which we got to in the previous video, and that mountain that is in the background of the picture that we're going for is right to our left, and then there's the bridge right down beneath us. And since the bridge in the picture is a little bit further to the left than anything else, that means that the memory is going to be pretty far to our left, where I'm kind of looking at, centering at right now. The other thing is, this could be a very quick video if I did not get sidetracked, and I also totally forgot to open up the map when I get there to show on the map where I am. Realistically, though, it really shouldn't be that hard to figure it out. So in my next memory videos, and I will eventually have one long video explaining it's a compilation of all the locations. I just have to get to all of them so I can actually record that. But for now, you should be able to figure out, you just kind of walk toward that direction I was pointing in, and we're going to be trying to glide in down here. Remember, you can't actually swim for very long, so you want to try to get on land if possible, and if you don't have full stamina or an extra bar, that may not work for you. I also tried to throw a rusty broadsword at that Octorok, because if you throw rusty swords at them, they will spit back shinier, better ones at you. However, I totally missed, which means that I'm going to lose that sword forever. And it's not lost, it's actually down at the bottom of the lake, which you could use magnesis to go get if I decided to shoot the Octorok. But I hate those things. Those Octoroks are unbelievably accurate. And in normal Zelda fashion, I am once again getting sidetracked, and I noticed this thing. I'm like, what is this pinwheel? And I kept hearing these things that sounded like a Korok, and then I finally turn around and I'm like, oh, okay, it's these targets. So this will be another Korok that we're going to get, and this works out because we're going to need 1 or 2 more seeds so we can finally move on with the Korok quest line. And if you remember a couple of videos ago, we found that Korok on the way to Kakariko Village, and you can get 2 upgrades from him before he goes back to his forest, and you're going to want to send him back to his forest eventually, because we're going to be heading there, and you're going to probably be using him pretty often as soon as you do get some more Korok seeds. The thing about these things, I did save before I started shooting at these, is just because these can be a little bit odd when you're trying to lead them and hit them. But I did get lucky with the first 2, or the first and the last one. I had to try a few times for the second one. Then we get a Korok seed, and we're actually going to end up getting yet another Korok seed on the way. And interestingly, I have not done either of these Koroks on my first file, so I have to come back here later and actually do them again when I play on my first file again, which will probably be later today. It's kind of amazing. This game reminds me of Skyrim, where no matter how many times you play it, I feel like I'm always going to run into something new. Even though I know what's going on, I'm probably going to run into new stuff that I haven't seen or I've totally forgotten about, and it's going to feel like a new exciting game, you know, every single playthrough. And it's games like those that I wish every game was like that, but, you know, it can't be. If every game was like Zelda, then games would probably get pretty boring because it'd be too good. There'd be no reason to hate them. Anyway, so here's another Korok place, and if you notice, there's a couple of these boulders, which you can't actually push, which is not usual to Zelda games. Normally you can push boulders around, but nope, not in this one. You need to hit stasis and then just whack it just about 3 times in that kind of general direction of that hole. You get 3 chances here in case you mess up, but as long as you don't hit this boulder too hard, then it shouldn't really be too big of a deal. And if it lands kind of outside the hole, you should be able to knock it back in just fine. So there's another Korok, and that's probably about all the Koroks we're doing. Now we'll actually be able to climb up this and head on over to the memory. So I think I open up my album here in a second and take yet another look at the picture just to kind of remind myself, okay, I am going to the right direction, and of course show you how you can use the pictures to find the place, the places that you're trying to go. There's also this kind of stump in the middle, and that stump may involve something because there's like a rock on the outside, and I think we end up doing one in a little bit where there's a rock connected to a chain, and if you put that rock inside the stump, then you get another Korok. But anyway, so there's the mountain in the picture, there's the bridge, and it's just a little bit north of me is the memory right there. So I did sort of show it on the map. But we're looking for that tree with 2 little idle doll things, and it's just going to be pretty much just over this hill. So the memories in this game are probably one of my favorite parts because they do explain a story that otherwise isn't explained too well. And it kind of gives you a grasp on how Zelda and Link got along before the Great Calamity, and just kind of how they got to where they were 100 years later. So I really liked this kind of storytelling because it's the kind that's like, okay, you can go do it if you want to, if you want to learn more, but you don't have to at all. You're not going to have any less of an experience if you don't do it. So that tree is just on the other side of that gap there, and here's that rock I was talking about. You just put that on top of the stump, and then a Korok should pop on out. So we actually end up getting about 3 Koroks, and those guys were just so on the way. Like, they were just unavoidable. May as well just grab them, right? Okay, so there's the tree we're looking for. There will be a shining circle that will show up when you get close enough to these memory areas. Once again, keep an eye out for these as you play, and eventually you'll probably run over most of them. So that'll be it for this video. The rest is just going to be the memory, and then of course turning the quest into Impa.
I doubt this will let up anytime soon. Your path seems to mirror your father's. You've dedicated yourself to becoming a knight as well. Your commitment to the training necessary to fulfill your goal is really quite admirable. I see now why you would be the chosen one. What if one day you realized that you just weren't meant to be a fighter? Yet the only thing people ever said was that you were born into a family of the royal guard, and so no matter what you thought, you had to become a knight. If that was the only thing you were ever told, I wonder then, would you have chosen a different path?